You feel small. Yeah, you really feel small. It's really make you feel you're just a piece of dust in this whole system. Yeah, that's really good. Good feeling. Yeah.
My name is Truls Lynne Hansen, and I'm the head of the so-called Tromsø Geophysical Observatory. I used to say that the Northern Lights, that's the manifestation of the electric and magnetic forces in the universe, something we don't see otherwise. And it's caused by the sun. Originally, it's particles coming from the sun. They go through a complicated process when they meet the magnetic field of the Earth. To me, it's okay, it's a part of nature that we see every day. And to me, of course, it's also a scientific phenomenon. But apart from that, I have no particular memories about it. Well, maybe one thing is not, you need to be lucky to have a good one. And we once had a Japanese TV team here doing live transmissions to Japan. They were coming here to do it on that day, that hour, and you got the perfect one. That one for them, I don't forget very easily.
I went up to the mountains once, and I went by myself because when I was younger, I always liked to go by myself to the mountains. And I'm never afraid, really. And I'm a good skier. And I went up there, and I had a little sleeping bag with me. And I had my hot chocolate to drink. And then I fall asleep. And suddenly I was waking up because I saw something around my eyes. I thought it was a fire or something, but then it was only the Northern Lights. And the Northern Light waked me up, really, because you could really feel the electric atmosphere of the Northern Lights. And it was so strong in the colors, yellow, green, violet, in all colors. It was going in all sort of shades. So I never forget that night when I was looking at the Northern Lights. I take my grandchildren with me, and they have a little snow hut outside, and they have something warm to sit on, and we can watch the Northern Lights so near and so clearly. And I tell them, you must never wave to the Northern Lights, otherwise the Northern Light comes and takes you. And I tell a story about the Northern Lights and the Norwegian trolls up in the mountains.
Once, many years ago, a Japanese tourist coming up here, he arrived at the airport, hired a taxi. They occasionally come up here to watch the aurora. The taxi drove him to the top of the island, and he asked the taxi driver, catch me up in 3 or 4 hours. It was late in the evening, around 7 o'clock, and he was standing there with not that much clothes on him. He had a chair, sat down, and he planned to stay there for 3 hours, waiting for the aurora, out in the cold Tromsø evening. The taxi driver left him, but after some time he felt nervous about this man. He could freeze to death. He came regular back every half an hour to watch this tourist sitting there. And finally he was frozen enough, went back to the airport and flew back to Japan.
It's nice to see how some tourists really pay to see the aurora, not only with money, but in this case also with their health.
My name is Judith. I have different jobs. In winter time I'm a guide and photographer, and the rest of the year I'm doing programming work. It has different shapes, often like a greenish band in the north going from east to west. But you also can fill up the whole sky with long lines and curtains and moving very fast. So it's hard to explain at all, but it's beautiful. You have to see it. Well, of course, people are disappointed if you don't see the lights. Sometimes it's we can't find clear skies, even if you drive for a long way. And but people understand, most of them. But they're disappointed, yeah. They come a long way to see the lights. So what's important is to spend some days. Just don't come for one night. You need to spend some days and do some work. It's not so easy to find the lights all the time.
Just to see if we can see the Northern Lights. We're quite excited about getting out there tonight. I know the weather hasn't been very good lately and they haven't come out for everybody every night.
I've waited a long time to come. I've been to other countries to see if I can see them, and now I hope to see them here. Recent photos I've seen is that they're very green, but I'm just waiting to see what they are.
They want to see the light straight away, but for me it's quite unpredictable. It's a good thing for me, yeah.
It's moving, it's like art in the sky.
It's the finest thing in the world.
It's just like a magic feeling when you see them. It's a stripe on the heaven.
In Norway we call it...
I would call it...
We call it...
Jag ser en riktig stråle, ja.
Nordlys.